is Spencer's first stand-up, and he's actually popping up for Casual Friday, but so it might be a little bit boring for the first 15 minutes. But we're going to go around and basically just check in with everybody. We're coming up to a lot of these team members' time on the project, so we're kind of at the handover transition phase. But I think it's Aubrey's last day before you go off for a week, right? Okay, so you're first on my screen. So Aubrey, Blake, and Matt. I know there's been a lot of back and forth with Caroline, you know, and myself, and then we also had the testing server set up this morning. Do you want to speak a little bit about that so that we are all on the same page there?
Yeah, I was on the meeting. Aubrey was kind of doing it mostly with Quentin, but we did get everything on the testing server and implemented the transcribed notes from Caroline that we were sent, and like the language edits. So after we met this morning, we kind of decided that it would be good to send out the interview to the testing channel on Monday and kind of have other people start testing it. Just because me and Matt are going to be here for the beginning of next week, and we figured we could get that done in at least a couple or 3 days.
Okay, perfect. And then I know that Aubrey's very kindly offered to document what was covered in the testing server thing with Quentin. So that's going to be a really helpful piece of documentation going forward. And we've got the video accompanying it as well. So that's going to be really beneficial. So thank you guys very much for kind of being the test, what's it called? Crash testing? I don't know if that's the right thing.
Yeah. and thank you for Quentin's help too.
And then also if anybody missed the, I think everybody on this call was there for the issues meeting yesterday, the GitHub issues meeting. There's a recording that's timestamped in the channel. Blake and Michelle did a really, really good job of kind of succinctly explaining it. We probably will have to build out a little bit more, you know, as you run through it yourselves and maybe come up with some questions. But it's a good base to kind of start off on GitHub issues.
I wanted to say is, you know, they've done a good job of explaining it because I wasn't there, and I've seen all these issues that people have been posting, and they've done they've done a good job of explaining it. You can tell because people have done a really good job of using the tool to document all these issues. So, and I really appreciate that because this is a lot of stuff to go through and to keep track of. So I'm so grateful to you guys for doing that.
Okay, good job, everybody. That's a vote of confidence from Caroline. Okay. Okay, so that's the marriage without delay form. Okay, and then we've got Sam. Eric's not here today. It's Friday, I guess. Sam and Mark. How was the MPRE, Mark?
It was all right.
Well, it's Vinny also wrote it, and he just like, well, I'm alive, so.
I will say that after studying Barbary, I thought the test was going to be way harder, and it wasn't. I think as in the questions on Barbary just made it seem like it was going to be a lot more.
The questions on Barbary made it seem like it was like the bar exam.
Yeah, and like it was way more. There's a lot of like legalese and a lot of like very nuanced points to pay attention to, but the exam was like half as hard.
Okay, well that's a good thing to come out of it saying. I guess it's more better than half as difficult. Like I don't know. Anyway, so you guys, where are you at with the affidavit of indigency supplement?
Right. So Eric merged our codes.
There's Eric.
Oh, he's here. Yeah, he could probably speak to that a little bit more. He could probably speak to that a little bit more at the moment, just because he's the one that's kind of sorting out the conflicts that kind of popped up. But we should be running smoothly by the end of the week. Does that sound about right, Eric?
Yeah. The conflicts are just like hashing out stuff so to influence what the interview does when we're testing out stuff. So it'll be
fine. So is there anything that you need from us? I mean, I was hoping to kind of get another look at it early next week, if that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I have some code questions, but I can save those for the channel.
Yeah, that's probably the best place to put them. Put them in the channel. We'll keep an eye out for those. I know Quentin and Michelle are very good at monitoring that. I also look there, but I very rarely have the answers. So, okay, that'll be great. And And then yeah, we'll talk next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday for another kind of review before you guys have to jump off. And you guys are going okay with the issues?
Yeah.
No questions
So far, so
there.
good. Nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's got hold of that one for your team?
What was that?
Who's
Who's
assigned?
got hold of that one for your team? Was it Mark or wait, who was the other person?
Yeah, Mark's the other person. The person who's holding. Well, I didn't do the GitHub meeting yet, so.
The issues.
The
The
issues,
Who's gonna-
yeah.
Who's going to be stewarding that process?
As into the fall, I guess it's going to be me by default.
I mean, before the summer's over, right?
Before the summer's over.
Who's going to be making sure that issues are being recorded and things are being documented? So we talked about how each group should have, and I don't think you were there, but we talked about how each group should have a person who is making sure that these things happen. Sam, you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, no, it can be me. We
It
haven't.
can also be the third member of your merry band. It's all right. Like.
Yeah. No, it's. I guess we just haven't like chatted about it yet. But I was kind of considering. I mean, I don't know. I was assuming that it would be me. Can we all do it? We can all add issues.
You can all do it, but I want one person
to take
who is
ownership,
responsible for it, so that I come to them if there's a problem.
Not in an intimidating, scary way.
Oh no, in an intimidating, scary way for sure. In a very friendly and intimidating manner. Just if you assign it to everyone, then it doesn't happen, and I can't go. We can go around checking with everyone. So there's one person to check with. You know, on how.
All right. Well, it can be me because I'll be heading off when school starts. So I guess I'll do that.
Okay, Sam, you are going to be assigned that person, and then obviously Eric will take over that, because I think that it's quite a nice practice to have, because it documents decisions as you go through, and you can then avoid reassessing things that you've already decided on. Okay, great stuff. Okay, so then we've got Vinny and Mia. How are you guys doing? You're on the notice of limited appearance now?
Yeah, so I've also been cleaning up the generic motion form with just some things that were also coming up as I was inputting the issues. And then notice of limited appearance is going good, inputting issues into GitHub as well. And yeah, it's going well.
Okay, perfect. And if you need any help with anything on that form, as I said, you can always reach out to Finola, to myself. I can get in touch with them as well, or anybody on the team, obviously.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, and then we've got Jason and James. I know Lenny's kind of tied up with her internship right now. How are things after your demo this week?
It's good. We're just going through the suggestions and making the changes, and then we're meeting with Caroline Monday to go over some language stuff. So either Monday or Tuesday, I think we should kind of have implemented all the suggestions.
Okay, perfect. So we could also do an early first half of the week demo for you guys as well.
Yeah, that should work.
And I think that just from the last review that we had, I'm always nervous saying this now, but it might be safe to say that this might be the last review, and then we might just have a final check, kind of what we've done with this marriage without delay form. So we don't have to have another formal review.
We're talking contempt, right?
Yeah, complaint for contempt.
Yeah.
Who is holding issues for that one? Who's stewarding the issues?
We haven't decided yet. We'll do it after this meeting. We'll figure out who's in charge of that.
All right.
I think you guys have the most formal voting system, because you always have to confer with your learned co-counsel before you make any decisions. I like
that.
That's
we don't want to force it on someone.
No, I think that's a good thing. Okay. Again, I remind you guys that the issues thing is recorded and put in the channel. Maybe Spencer, I don't want to put you on the spot because it's obviously our first meeting, but Spencer has undertaken the request for guardianship of minor, request for counsel, guardianship of minor for the parents. How is that going for you? Do you need any assistance? Do you need, I said yesterday the first thing would be to reach out to Kate Barry. Kate, I think that's correct.
Yeah, it's my favorite form.
For an SME review. So do you want to speak a little about that, Spencer?
Sure, yeah. I'm just finishing up some of the variables to make sure that they match our standards and they work in the system. Then I'll be doing radio button tonight, running a few more tests, try to get that name figured out where it doesn't ask you twice, and then I should be ready to contact Kate.
Okay, perfect.
For it to be reviewed.
That'll be the first SME review. And then once you kind of get some guidance from Kate and implement those changes, if any, then we'll move on to a more team-wide review where we talk more about the architecture and stuff like that. And then we go from there. Okay, does anybody else have anything they need to raise? I think Mia has Michelle.
So nobody get overexcited, but the very basics of the MVP of the multi-signature, multi-device choice extravaganza is working independently of interviews. Just that's where we're at. It's a big accomplishment. It's not the end of the story, but I'm excited.
Good job,
and it's
Michelle.
Huge. It's really, really complicated, and it's really valuable.
Do you need anybody to look at it, to test it, to formally run through?
Yeah, I mean, Caroline's been testing it. I put it on last night. I think Mia was going to test it. I would love other people to test it too.
You've put something in the main channel, did you not?
I did. Or
I don't know why I ask these questions. Like, I'm listening to too many depositions.
I think it's in the testing channel, but yeah, it definitely needs to be tested.
And it's really short. It's just sending signatures. So if anybody, for people to test, it's not going to take you half an hour to do.
It's quick and it's friendly, so it has one user and 2 co-signers. No matter what you do, you have no choice, and you just go through it, and you can send it to yourself, 3 times if you want. Just try the permutations,
Okay, good job, Michelle. Really, really good work there. I'm gonna stop recording.